Back is itching. Crazy as bothering me while I was singing that song. A guy was asking me the other day about my first sexual experience, and it's a story I don't tell too many people, so. Okay, well, the malls were a big thing when I was a teenager. You walk around the mall, look for girls. My buddy and I, we used to fill up these big McDonald's cups with brandy, and we'd walk around the Crystal Mall, they call it. It's up in Connecticut, Waterford. And we walked through the J.C. Penney, and there was this cute girl that my friend started chatting with. And then she started asking me questions, and I was making her laugh and everything. And so we were walking away, and my buddy's like, why don't you get her number? And I was like, I don't know. I was a shy kid. He's like, don't be a pussy, go get her number. So I went back and asked for a number. She gave it to me. And I called her a couple days later, and it was Friday, and she wanted to go see the Ramones Rock and Roll High School at the drive-in. So I told her I'd take her. So I followed the directions to the address that she gave me, and I arrived at her house, and I went to knock on the door, and this big dude opens up the door. He says, you Bob? I said, yep, I'm here for Kathy. So he said, sit down, I'll go get her. And he starts carrying her down the stairs, and she's got prosthetic legs, from the knees down, and she's got sneakers on the bottoms. And he said, she just got these, and she's a little wobbly. You might have to help her from time to time. I'm thinking, yeah, wow. So he walks her out to my car. I had this funny-looking 3-colored Mustang I bought for $400. Back was green, the doors were blue, and the front was gold. And I had these nice Cooper white letter tires on it, like a fool. So anyway, he's walking Kathy out there. She's wobbling along, and she gets in the Mustang, and we drive to the drive-in. And she says, do you want me to get in the trunk? I was like, what? She says, well, sometimes my friends, we sneak each other into the trunk. I was like, no, that's okay. I can pay the $2, to get you in the movie. So we get in there, and it was really foggy. You couldn't really see much. And she's like, you got any booze? I said, sure. I usually have a cooler with some 151 rum. And I made us a couple of drinks, and she just starts guzzling them down. And then she comes over to my side and just grabs me, and we're making out like crazy. And this kid knocks on the window. He's like, collect it for the Cub Scouts. I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. And she's like, we can't see anything anyway. Why don't we just drive around? So we're driving around, and she says, pull off. There was this dirt area where we used to go swimming. There was a rope swing. And you had to walk down a path. And she says, pull over here. So I pulled over, and she's just like crazy drunk by this time. It hit her really hard. She says, let's take a walk. And I'm like, okay. So I get her out of the car, and she's having a hard time walking. So we got down to where the pine tree is, where everybody was scraped their initials in. And she sits down on the pine tree. She says, you got a knife? And I said, no, I don't have one with me. And she goes, take off your belt then. And I was like, how am I going to carve our initials into the tree with my bitch? She's like, take it off. We had those ring belts back then, 2 rings. And so I took it off like I was going to whip her with it, and crack it. Like that. And she goes like this, and she puts her hands behind the tree. And she says, tie my hands with your belt. I'm like, what the hell are you thinking about? I'd had a little bit of rum too, so I was a little buzzed, and I'm just like, yeah, well, I'll play along, you goofball. So I tie her, grab her hands like I'm arresting her or something, tie her up in the thing. She goes, tight her, you pussy. And I was like, oh yeah, So I did it tight, and then I wrapped it around again, and I kind of knotted it. And I came around, and she's just like laying there with her dress pulled up. I was like, damn, and so one thing leads to another, and we were like that song, me and Crazy Janie was making love in the dirt, and I'm thinking, this is just fucked up, man, And this is the first time I've ever been with a girl. And I had a watch. It was a Caravelle watch, and I'm looking at it, and it was 1:30. And I was supposed to have her back by midnight. And I'm thinking, fuck. So, I untie her and everything, and she's just like snoring, tired, and I'm trying to wake her up. I got to practically carry her back to the car, and I'm like, man, I don't remember where her house was right now. I'm a little buzzed, so it took me a while to get there. I didn't get to her house till like almost 2:30 in the morning. And Dad was up. Could see him in the window. And I woke her up enough to get her in there, She walked in. And dude was like, Bob, sit down. So this shit, I'm thinking. So he gets her, just picks her up and takes her upstairs. He goes, sit down. So I was like thinking I should just bolt, man. I should get out of here. But, she knows who I am. I know who she is. It wasn't, it's not. Well, anyway, he comes down the stairs. And I'm just like, my knees are knocking, man. I think this guy's going to like clock me one or something. And he pulls out a $20 bill out of his pocket and he's handing it to me. I was like, what's this for? He says, oh, it's just to, cover some costs and everything. It's like, hey, I've got a job, I work at the Gondolier, and I was a dish dog, making an honest wage, so I'm, pushing it back. We're doing that back and forth thing. And I said, look, you don't have to pay me for taking out your daughter. She's a nice girl. Kathy's cool. And he says, you don't understand. The last guy who took her out left her strapped to the tree. Class dismissed.